This is our final panel in a four-part series highlighting current modern-day black professionals within arts, media, and entertainment who are breaking down barriers. Today, I'm joined by change agents in the fields of new media and music. Let's welcome our panelists. CEO of Miles Ahead Entertainment and Broadcasting, Sheila Eldridge. How are you, Ms. Eldridge?
Okay, great. Nice to meet you all.
Ah, yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. We also have a Netflix character animator, Joshua Leonard. What's up, sir? How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I mean, this is the final week of Black History Month, of course, founded by Carter G. Woodson. The began as Negro History Week, and the reason why he chose the particular week is because of the birthday of Frederick Douglass. So here we are, years and years later, celebrating our history. I do have to start here as we're closing out Black History Month. I would love for each of you to give me a figure in Black history who inspires you in your work or your personal life. Let's start with Miss Eldridge.
Malcolm X.
I know
Um,
that's right.
he, I just loved his go get it done. Don't ask anyone. It's a state of mind. And so, Malcolm X, that's one for me. And whenever I have to fall back and I go and read my Malcolm X.
Definitely. A quick little plug. If you want to go to the SiriusXM app, you can listen to my interview with Ilyasa Shabazz, who is Malcolm X's daughter. I interviewed her last week. She was incredible. She was amazing. There's a new book out called The Awakening of Malcolm X. So Ilyasa Shabazz, just incredible. So go to the SiriusXM app and listen to that. Also, Joshua Leonard, tell me, who is a figure in Black history that really inspires you?
Yeah, definitely would have said Malcolm X, but Rep John Lewis for me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a big X fan, but I'm also a big John Lewis fan as well. Truth to Power, I'm all for it. I love everything he stood for, and yeah, man, it's and he was a good friend of mine. So
Oh wow, wow, yeah. Rest in power to the legendary John Lewis, John Lewis. But I'll give one as well, just to put out there in the ether. He's somebody that I don't feel like is recognized enough. Bayard Rustin. I encourage you all to look him up. He was the architect of the March on Washington. He was also a gay man who was really shunned and ignored and almost erased from history. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had the March on Washington. Really wasn't really inspired Dr. Martin Luther King in many, many ways, and was treated terribly, terribly, and just a real legend, Bayard Rustin. So shout out to this amazing time where we make sure we celebrate and honor our icons in Black history. All right, so for folks who are listening and they may not know, I want to go around and just find out the kind of work that you do, and also what got you into this kind of work, just a little bit of your journey. Let's start with you, Miss Eldridge. Once again, you're the CEO of Miles Ahead Entertainment and Broadcasting. What got you into this kind of work, and exactly what is Miles Ahead?
What got me into it is my love for radio.
Mm,
I graduate of Howard University School of Communications, learned at WHUR, which is one of the best stations in the country, and then moved to California, got in radio, and realized that there was more in the industry than just the radio side. So got on the record side and learned marketing and PR. And I love Black music. I'm a connoisseur of jazz. My company is Miles Ahead because I'm a Miles Davis, head. So, and then actually spent time in the record industry, and I'm a little older than you all are. So the record industry started going through a lot of trends and changes and decided, I can't build a business on an industry that is transitioning and moving. And I need to do
mm,
something where I can grow with the industry and where I saw things going. So I started looking at doing more corporate work, working with corporations who wanted to align with the music industry and artists. So I started pairing artists with different companies and campaigns and ad campaigns. And that's how I really kind of transitioned into this middle world of being in the corporate and the entertainment industry. And then 10 years ago, I went back to where my love is, which is radio, bought some radio stations, moved into the syndication business. And so now, my philosophy is you always have to have a plan B. So I have this marketing business and I have my broadcast business, and those two is how we come up with Miles Ahead Entertainment and Broadcasting. And that's, where I am today.
Wow,
after
that's
25 years. Yeah, it's been 25 years as an entrepreneur.
That's amazing. All right, Joshua. So tell us now. Also, explain to folks what a character animator is. And if you're watching on the app, you could see that you have some amazing characters behind you. But explain to folks what a character animator is and how you got involved in this.
Yeah, I'm actually a character designer. So character
Okay.
designer is, if I was to draw each of us, I would do like 20 to 30 different looks for each one of us for the industry. So what a character designer does, we create the look for the cartoon of the characters. So we basically build what you're seeing in a cartoon, the image. So I would draw you looking straight ahead, maybe at a 3/4 view, a side view, almost like you're spinning the character all the way around. So I do that for Netflix currently, and I work for Nickelodeon as well.
Oh well, I want a drawing. Can I get one?
Hey,
Can I get? I'll pay
stay
you.
with me. Yeah, stay with me. I got you. Stay with me.
Which shows?
No,
What
I'm
shows
sorry.
do you work on?
I can't say. I can't say.
Oh, you can't say.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got you,
So
got you.
I'm actually doing I'm working on a film for Netflix, and I worked on 2 shows with Nickelodeon. But
Oh,
what
very
you see
nice.
in the back is my show that's being developed by Hillman grad, Lena Waithe, Jason Weaver. You know, I got a great team behind me, and what it is, it's my cartoon is called Team Supreme, and it features a group of kids who have a disability, but they also have
Oh,
superpowers. So imagine like a Marvel cartoon or a Marvel superhero, because all my characters have disabilities.
right. Wow.
So I'm
Now,
really
but how
big
did you?
on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but when you were a kid or when you were in school, did you draw? Like, how did you even find this talent to be a character designer?
Yeah, it's funny because my older brother who passed last year from pneumonia, he taught me how to
Oh,
draw
sorry to hear
Garfield.
that.
Thank you. He taught me how to draw Garfield when I was in kindergarten. And once I learned how to draw Garfield, man, and I was an athlete as well. So I never stopped drawing even when I was playing ball. So, when he died last year, the very next day, Netflix hit me up with a job. So it's like he left that last gift for me.
Wow, that's incredible. I can't even draw a straight line, so that's
Yeah, you can.
just amazing. I have no drawing. I took an art class in high school and I almost failed it. Like I have no mind for that. So Sheila, let me ask you this: many folks feel like we're in a new renaissance of Black media and art. What trends and technologies do you think we should be focusing on, and what excites you most about the future of Black media right now?
Actually, podcasting. I'm really
Mm,
excited about podcasting because it gives you the breadth and the space to really tell stories and to get in depth into subjects, and to not have restrictions, which is, I think, a time that we need. We need to be listening to one another more and hearing each other's stories, to be inspired just on all levels. So I'm really excited about podcasting and the fact that Black people that we as a culture are beginning to embrace it and see how to use it as a means to connectivity for us. And I'm excited at this virtual world. It's very interesting how we have pivoted, and are producing productions now that are, I think, broadcast worthy that people are streaming. So I'm excited I always believe that in every situation, there's got to be something there that makes it make sense. Some's got to make 2020 make sense.
yes.
And maybe it's the ability for us to really have to connect now differently and more and be able to have the expression to create content that is broader to a broader audience. So there are the two exciting, the virtual productions, and I'm really excited with podcasts.
Well said. Well said. Joshua, share some advice and resources for young Black creatives out there and professionals to effectively navigate film and television, right? A representation is an issue. So, how do we create these meaningful pipelines in animation and other technology industry jobs?
Yeah, really good question. For one, be yourself. That's one thing I do as a Black man. Like I'm not rude, but I also don't hold my tongue either if I see something wrong in the animation industry. I kind of put pressure on the industry if I see something that I don't agree with, which is most of animation that you see on TV. So I definitely would say be yourself, stay humble, network. You know, I'm a mentor as well, so you can always reach out to me. Just try to learn and grow as an artist. I mean, right now is the time. Just like Ms. Eldridge said, like 2020 has to be a reason for it. Like this is good for us. Like doors are starting to open slowly, but they're still opening. So especially as it pertains to animation, you know, anything is possible these days, and I'm living proof of that. And I think also like dealing with like STEM, learning STEM, science, all of that type of stuff as well, man. Like get into that, but mainly just networking, learn as much as you can, stay humble. You know, don't. I try to teach kids not to compare your where you are in life with somebody else that was at that age. Everybody's gonna have a different. You know, I used to be homeless from Hurricane Katrina, so I could have been at Netflix years ago, possibly. Who knows? This is part of my story, so it's like everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Ms. Eldridge, how do we navigate these spaces where we're walking in and we are the only one in the room, right? I mean, you managed to go even further and, like you said, buy radio stations. But for folks who are just starting out and they're going in these predominantly white spaces, and they might feel like, okay, I'm the only brown person here, I'm the only black woman here. What advice do you have to really get through these rooms when you are the only one in the room?
That's a tough one, but good question, but tough one. It really goes back to really taking a real look at who you are, why you're here, really kind of assessing what your goal is and what your mission is in life. Because I always say the jobs are just that, they come and they go, but you will always be who you are. But you don't know who that person is until you put some time into really developing and trying to grow and find out what your purpose and your passion is. Some people know it out, some other people have to find it. So once it's a mindset and you know why you're here and what your passion is, you can walk and navigate into any situation and know that it is just that, a situation that's a moment in time that you can get through. And that's really my advice on how I've been able to navigate over the years is just really having a strong sense of worth and working on me and working on making me the best that I can be and finding out what that passion is and what God put me here to do.
Absolutely. Joshua, what about you? Navigating spaces where you're the only one in the room. Netflix is doing much better with diversity. So are other streaming services. But nonetheless, sometimes we're the only one there. And like you said, be yourself. But some folks don't have that kind of confidence. So what advice do you give for folks who are walking in and they're seeing no one who looks like them, yet those folks are making the decisions?
Yeah, that's a really good question. In the animation industry, for those who don't know, it's less than 4% of people of color. It may be a little bit more now, maybe 5. Whatever the number is, it's still pretty bad. I would say to kind of stand your ground. Like I said, you do have to speak up, and I get it. People, I'm afraid to say certain things because I don't want to lose this job. I'm gonna be honest with who's ever. The writer's room, if something is not right, it needs to be, you got to kind of speak up. But I think honesty is a big deal in this industry. And there's certain topics that need to be brought up. There's conversations that need to happen. And like you said, Netflix, they do have strong Black lead. They're probably doing one of the better jobs of hiring people of color in the animation industry and film in general. But I think after what's the brother that died last year? He got choked to death by the police officers. I think after that happened.
So many.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
Yeah.
Floyd.
My gosh.
Floyd.
Yeah.
George Floyd.
Floyd. Yeah. Rest in peace to George Floyd. But after he passed, that's when you saw all of these, these animation studios came out the woodworks. They tried to, we want to we want to start listening to Black, we want to hear your stories now. We want you to sign up. So my thing is like, where was that before these tragedies happened? So, and that's why I feel like the conversations is crucial that we have them. We got to have them now. We have to continue to have them because it starts from what we produce for children that's where it starts from. So they see this, and me as a character designer, that's why I design so many diverse and inclusive characters. Like, I'm going to make sure these Black characters are on screen. I'm trying to normalize being different. So they have to see that.
No, agreed. And I think for those out there listening, whether it's on the app or listening live right now, it's so important that it shouldn't take someone like a George Floyd, his life being taken. He becomes this kind of social or cultural sacrifice for folks to really understand it. Like, you should be able to hear us. I can recall I've been on these airwaves 3-4 years at this point, and I've had folks call in and say, well, that's not true. That's not happening. And I'm like, yo, I'm not lying to you. I have no benefit in lying to you. Like, this is what is actually happening. Just get it. And, we all have to hear that. If another community, if Native Americans are saying they're experiencing something, then we should probably believe them. You know what I mean? So it's so important that it shouldn't take a George Floyd. It did. But we have to keep this energy going. We have to keep it going. Listen, so y'all are successful. You're doing some great work, but I think it's important for people to see the journey, the highs and lows of it all. So let's start with you, Miss Eldridge. Tell me your lowest and your highest moment in your career in this journey.
Woo-hoo. The lowest moment, oh boy, when I got fired from my first job. Okay. That's probably, they called it a layoff, cutback. Look, I was 3,000 miles away from home with no gig. And I just drove across country from DC to LA. So that was, I think, my lowest moment of when I had to figure out how to pick myself up. The highest moment was going to the White House and meeting President and Michelle Obama, and our First Lady Michelle Obama, and her saying to me, because she had done my radio show several times, and it was the last Christmas party before Obama was leaving, and she said, "We're going to need you. We're going to need your work. Keep doing what you're doing." That was truly the highest point, I think, in my career to date.
Wow. Amazing. Sometimes when you get fired, it's a blessing. It's a very, it's very strange. It's a blessing sometimes. You don't know
Especially
that door is closing.
Okay, when you're 22 and you're young and you can rebound.
Yeah. That's true. What about you, Mr. Leonard? What's been your lowest and your highest moment in your career?
Yeah, I'm a military brat, so my lowest would be being homeless from Hurricane Katrina. I used to live in Biloxi, Mississippi. So I was going to William Carey College, living right on the beach. Katrina blew that thing away. Like, there was nothing left on the beach. The casinos got blown away, and I got evacuated to Atlanta, Georgia. So that's currently where I'm at now. And but the highest was, like I said, last year, Netflix hit me up. So that's a blessing, man. I'm 2 years. I just graduated from the Art Institute in 2018. Graduated with a 4.0. Work full time, school full time. I got a 15-year-old daughter who was born during Katrina. So where I'm at right now, man, I'm very grateful for all the opportunities. I'm glad I went through being homeless because it made me a better man. It really makes you appreciate like little things in life. So I wish that everybody could go through something like that to change how they think. So that's definitely my high and my low.
And Joshua, you said that Netflix hit you up. It kind of all happened after your brother passed away, correct? But how did Netflix even get to you? How did it even come to you in that way? Why did they hit you up?
Yeah, so my artwork goes viral a lot on LinkedIn, believe it or not, man. Like I post a lot of stuff. I think I'm really good at branding myself. Like all my pictures, I'm in suits. I don't look like your typical animator or character. I don't look like I'm in the animation industry, is what I mean. So I think I brand myself very well. They saw my artwork, and actually I got hit up on Twitter after,
Wow.
because of that, because it went viral. And next day I was getting paperwork, and I mean, it's been amazing, man.
Wow. That's a really good point, I think, for folks out there listening. What you said, branding. Like, no matter how big your social media following is, no matter how big or small, there is a branding element there, right? And,
Absolutely.
what you put out there on social media, if you want to, unless you're just like chilling and doing whatever, whatever, but if part of it, if it's involved in any kind of arts and media or entertainment, right? You should think about what you put out there because it is a part of your brand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you just never know what can happen. So that's really important. Miss Eldridge, let's go to you as well. Tell me the nonprofit that you are here representing and what exactly they do.
Um, I'm representing the Mocha Cares Foundation. It's a nonprofit we started about maybe 6 years ago, to work with mothers and with children in local shelters. And what we do is we kind of grant wishes for the mothers and the children in the shelters. We do mentor programs. We help with whatever they need to move them, to get them into out of the shelter and moving on in life is what we do. And we are partnering with now we partner with over 15 shelters around the country, to kind of support what they're doing. So it's called the Mocha Cares Foundation. And our philosophy is to much is given, much is required. So it's required that we give back and we support kind of helping families get on their feet.
Wow, excellent work. Joshua, nonprofit you're representing.
Yeah, I'm representing the Special Olympics, actually. So me being a character designer and big on diversity and inclusion, and what that is, they just like our Olympics, they really go out, and if you have a disability, they let these kids run, these adults run, whatever it is. So they raise money, and I mean, they go all out, just like a normal regular Olympics as well. So um, it's a big deal.
Now, you said that the project that you're working on, it features kids who have special needs, and
Yes.
they have and they're also superheroes. What made and then also you're representing Special Olympics. What made that issue? Oh, look at that! If y'all looking on the app, you could see that Team Supreme. That's amazing.
Yes.
What made that resonate with you to highlight people with special needs and even be here representing that nonprofit?
You know what? To be honest, it came from around 2009. Like I said, the industry is so low with, less than 4% of Black people of color in the industry. So I saw, not only did I not see Black people, I didn't see people that had disabilities or special needs, anything like that, any type of those type of characters. When I did see them, they would be getting made fun of. So I had a problem with that. I wanted to really step outside of the box, show people of color in animation, and show, I basically want to just normalize being different, man, and include everybody. Why can't this character have sickle cell? Why can't this one have be an amputee? I have a character over here in a wheelchair. So,
Mm.
spina bifida, sickle cell. My main character Zeke with the high top, he's on the autism spectrum. So, and people,
Wow.
I gave my high top fade because I want to teach people who are watching that how difficult it is for certain people or kids to get haircuts. And a lot of people don't realize that. They don't like the vibration, they don't like the sound. So I want to show an
Mm.
episode where he has to get a haircut, and just to really break that stuff down. So I fell in love with the human body is amazing to me, man. So when I started doing research on all of these disabilities and learning more about them, and it's like they have superpowers. And I work with people with disabilities. I know people with disabilities, and I was just raised to love everybody, man. So
That is so great because you're so right. The special needs community does not get enough support. They are often ignored, even in policy. And
yep,
I mean, our politicians, they are consistently ignored in media in every way, shape, or. I'll never forget when the R&B singer T-Boz came out and said she had sickle cell anemia. I knew
yep,
a lot of people in my school who had sickle cell anemia, but for her to say it, it was so incredible, a big star that she was. So
right.
amazing work, Joshua. Really,
Thank you.
really, really,
I
really incredible work.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's God's work right there. We don't have that much time left, but I do want to quickly go to both of you and just say, when you were younger, how impactful would it have been to see someone like you doing what you're doing in media now? If you would have saw someone like you, we'll start with you, Miss Eldridge.
Well, I was blessed in that I did see someone, and it was Kathy Hughes.
Ah, the legend.
Yes, because I was at Howard in school, and she was the general manager of the radio station at WHUR. So I watched her be there and buy stations and just grow to where she is. So I was blessed in seeing her and being able to, for her to be a mentor. So that is, yes, I was just saying that was a blessing.
The icon, Miss Kathy Hughes, absolutely.
Mhm.
What about you, Joshua? How impactful would it have been to see someone like you when you were younger doing the kind of work that you're doing?
Yeah, it would have been extremely impactful. I didn't know about Floyd Norman until probably high school. And then Bruce Smith, he's at Disney with the Proud Family. There's a few more now of Black creators, but way back then it still would have pushed me. I'm a self-starter anyway, but just to see that, it would have been really helpful, man. Because with children, that's when you start to really believe and, oh, he can do it, I can do it. They look like me. So I believe that's why I was put here, to make a difference for the next generation.
And for folks who don't know, Floyd Norman was one of the few Black animators at Walt Disney, for folks who may not know that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all being here. Miss Eldridge, are you on social media?
Yes, we are miles ahead. You can get us
Miles ahead.
Miles ahead, and at Mocha Radio, but we are miles ahead.
All good. And you can also go to mochacaresfoundation.org to look at Miss Eldridge's nonprofit. Joshua, I mean, you're already killing it on LinkedIn. I mean, obviously, you're killing it on LinkedIn, but because you got a Netflix gig out of it. But how can folks follow you on social media, Joshua Leonard?
Yeah, so Instagram and Twitter is IMJOSHUALEONARD. So I'm Joshua Leonard.
Great, wonderful. You can follow me on social media, which is Clay Cane, ClayCane. And once again, I just want to say thank you to Mixtape and AAAG for having this wonderful series honoring Black experiences in arts, media, and entertainment. It is really important that we highlight folks who are doing the work now. Many, many people have paved the way for us all to be here. I know I can speak for everybody who I've spoken to from the first week of me doing this to rocking it with y'all this week, that we are so grateful for those who paved the way. Those who may be nameless people, names you may not know, but they certainly paved the way for us to be here. So it is an honor. So that said, on this end of Black History Month, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And you know what I always say? I ain't never really gone.